We have made it to the third and final portion of the regular season here in year number 7 for the St. Louis Dragons. Today we're going to play our final 6 games of the year as we look to gear up for hopefully another run at the Super Bowl. Last episode went pretty well. Our team is playing extraordinary football. We've got a record of 10-1 and seemingly everything is clicking. Our team has won 7 games in a row. We have not lost since week 4 against Jacksonville. And that includes a 6-0 episode last time around. We beat our 3 division rivals, and we also had some close games sprinkled in there. We really shouldn't have beaten the Commanders or the Packers, but we found ways to win those games late. And then against Houston, we started off struggling, down 14-0 within the first 2 minutes of the game, but we outscored them 42-7 the rest of the way. We've got 6 more games, including a matchup against the Rams once again. We're 2 games ahead of the Rams, and if we win this game, we'll position ourselves nicely to clinch the division and likely clinch the number 1 seed. We've got Dallas on primetime football, followed by the Eagles, Giants, and then a pair of AFC games to end the year with the Titans and the Colts. Obviously, we've got a lot of guys who are playing at a high level individually, and we should have multiple major award winners on both sides of the ball. Like last season, the strength of this team certainly lies on the offensive side of the ball, but I feel like our defense has taken a step up largely because of individual players really looking like superstars. Puma Whitlock has had an incredible season throwing the ball. He is the favorite for the MVP after finishing in 2nd last year. He's been close to winning the MVP in the past, but it finally feels like this is his year. On the ground, Darwin Juskins and Milan Santa have been a phenomenal duo together in the backfield. The question is if we can keep both of them healthy going into the playoffs. Obviously, Arturo Modelo has been brilliant. He's likely to break some records himself. He currently holds the receiving triple crown with the most receptions, yards, and touchdowns across the NFL through 11 games. It's going to be hard to break some of these records, but I think it's possible. He's definitely on pace to shatter the receptions record. Yards is going to be close, and touchdowns I don't think he's going to get. Randy Moss holds the record there with 25, but he is the front runner for Offensive Player of the Year with Puma Whitlock right behind him in 2nd. Amarion Cephas has picked it up after a slow start. Colin Robinson has cooled off after a hot start. And the rookie DeAubrey Thomas is really coming along nicely. He looks like the true number 2 receiver right now behind Modelo. The offensive line's been up and down, but obviously our stars, Savondre Mack and Sharif Sully, have been very good. And then defensively, we haven't been super consistent on this side of the ball, but we've got a few players playing at a Defensive Player of the Year level. Owen Popo flying around the field at linebacker. Simeon Bonnet leads the NFL in tackles for loss. He's been our most productive pass rusher. And then the big story of last episode was the emergence of Cam Lucifer, who picked off 8 passes over our last 4 games, including 4 against the Houston Texans. This seemingly came out of nowhere, but Lucifer has been on another level. These 3 guys are 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for Defensive Player of the Year, and I think they got the order right. I think Bonnet's been the most important player on this side of the ball, given what he's provided in the run game, but Lucifer's not far behind. He's been much better in coverage this year than last year, and obviously the ball skills have been tremendous. And then Owen Popo, no slouch to him. He's been fantastic as well, maybe the best linebacker in the NFL, but I do want to see more consistency from the rest of the defensive unit going into the playoffs. We currently have the 2nd best point differential in the league, only behind the Chiefs, who are also 10-1, along with the Buffalo Bills. In terms of the AFC playoff picture, the North is super competitive. The Steelers and Bengals are really good. The Ravens have been solid as well. Texans have the edge in the South. The Jags are only 3-8, which is crazy because they're the one team who's beaten us so far. Buffalo is a lock to win the AFC East. That division's been a mess. And then the Chiefs have an edge over the Chargers in the West. The Raiders struggling is a major surprise to me. I thought they had a great season last year. They made some big offseason acquisitions. Obviously acquired Jameson Williams, but they have fallen hard. The Packers lead the North, with the Bears still in the race. Saints and Panthers in 1st and an always competitive NFC South. Dallas has the edge over Philadelphia in the East, and we're going to see 3 of these 4 teams today, including the Giants as well. And then in our division, we're 2 games ahead of the Rams, 3 ahead of the Niners. The NFC West has been so competitive in this series, other than last year, where our 3 division rivals were the 3 worst teams in the league. So it's kind of cool having the Rams and Niners be good again. Seattle, not so much. Obviously, their quarterback, Zachary Bridger, tore his ACL in week 3. And, well, they haven't really recovered. Not that they played well with him. So as it stands now, we're currently the number 1 seed. We're 2 games ahead of second place Green Bay, and we had the head-to-head tiebreaker over them. We're 2 games ahead of the Rams in the division, and we also hold the head-to-head tiebreaker. So if we can win this game against the Rams, we can really put ourselves in a comfortable position. So obviously this is a really important game for us, and it certainly is for the Rams as well. They don't want to fall 3 back in the division. We played against these guys just 2 weeks ago at their house, winning the game 31-17. We wanted to set the tone early, but we threw an interception on the first play of the game. I like our response afterwards. Offensively, we ran the ball down their throats. Darwin Juskins was really good. Milan Santa played excellent in the first half before he got injured, and I got to give Santa credit. He's suffered some big injuries over the last couple of weeks, but he's looking to play through them. Now, hopefully, it's not a situation like last year and the year before where he gets injured late in the year. But our run game was great, and then defensively, Simeon Bonnet was incredible. 6 tackles for loss and 3.5 sacks. So let's get this show on the road. The Dragons and the Rams. This Rams team really fascinates me. As we've talked about their roster, their team on paper is not that good. They have 1 player higher than 84 overall. Their quarterback, Gavin Hennessy, individually has not had a very good season. His numbers were better last year when the Rams went 2-15. But this team find ways to win games. You got to give them credit, even with Aaron Donald, Nick Chubb, and Sean McVay all leaving after last year. Here's McCaffrey up the middle, jukes away from Cortez Navarro, and gets nearly 30. Quick start for the Rams. They have it in enemy territory. Few plays later from the 4. First and goal, it's a read option. Bourgeois misses completely, and Gavin Hennessy is in for the score. Jalen Bourgeois might be the funniest player in the league because I think he's pretty good, but he misses the easiest tackles, and he drops the easiest interceptions. If they had Shaqtin' a fool for the NFL, he would beat JaVale McGee. So the Dragons had the football. Not a great start defensively. 3rd and 5, they're going to look to run the ball, and it backfires. Milan Santa loses a yard. Nice tackle there from Cherry. That'll force a punt, and the Rams get it. Quick start here for Los Angeles. They beat us at home last year. We certainly don't want a repeat result. That ball's out. It's a fumble, and the Rams scoop it up. Simeon Bonnet and Warwick Eldred Jr. are in the backfield for half a sack each. I think they're going to credit the fumble force there to the rookie, Warwick Eldred. So the Dragons have it now, 3rd and 9. Puma Whitlock on the run, floats it up, downfield. It's caught by the rookie, W13-18 to the 47. Thomas is getting more reps. I feel like he's getting more comfortable at receiver. He's been a magnet for the end zone as he's wide open. Speak of the devil, W13-18 is in for the score, his 8th of the year, and the Dragons tie it up. All this kid does is score touchdowns. Not a bad skill to have in the NFL, as the second rounder out of TCU ties this game up at 7. Rams have it back. 2nd and 19. Play action fake. Hennessy keeps it. And this time Bourgeois does make the play in the backfield. I feel like Jalen Bourgeois has really improved this year as a run defender, even though he's had a lot of really bad missed tackles. 3rd and 20. Hennessy under pressure. Looks to throw it, and he gets rid of it. It's incomplete. Warwick Eldred, the rookie out of Texas A&M, leads the pressure. A few other guys there as well, including, obviously, Simeon Bonnet. Dragons back with it. Puma in the zone. Sends it up the middle. It's Arturo Modelo who gets it to the 50. Modelo's roughly 40 catches away from the all-time single-season record. He's averaging close to 10 a game. That should be no problem for him as Milan Santa walks in for the rushing touchdown. Just his 2nd of the year. He only has 1 rushing touchdown. He only has 1 receiving touchdown. It's a surprise that he really hasn't found the end zone. Hennessy throws it up. It's incomplete at a receiver wide open. That was not good coverage by Ronrakis Barber, who's had a solid season, but I feel like he's really struggled this year in press coverage, and when a receiver beats him off the line physically, Barber usually can't catch him. 3rd and 12, another missed throw for Hennessy as his struggles passing the ball continue. Dragons back on offense, 3rd and 6. Puma under a lot of pressure. On the run, incomplete for Modelo. The pressure there from Malik Moses, the number 1 overall pick in last year's draft out of Florida State. Rams get it back. Look to tie the game up late in the first half. 2nd and inches. Hennessy sends it downfield. It's DeAndre Washington, the number 1 receiver on this team. He gets it to the 25. 2nd and 8. Clock is ticking away. Around 45 seconds left in the half. Rams have 2 timeouts. Up the middle. Another solid first down and a nice play after the catch as Romeo Doubs gets it into the red zone. Third and goal from the 2. 13 seconds left in the half. Rams look to tie it. Hennessy looks to throw it up the middle. Incomplete. It goes off of the goalpost. So the Dragons get the stop. Rams would choose to tack on 3 rather than go for the tie. And that'll wrap up our first half. 14-10, Dragons with the lead. Hasn't been a perfect start for St. Louis, but I think defensively they've cleaned things up after that first drive. The offense has been fine. We've really tried to get the run game going, have not ran it as well as we did 2 weeks ago against the Rams. So hopefully we can get it going more so here in the second half. We've ran the ball well over 50% of our snaps today, so we certainly want to get the passing game more involved, especially because Puma Whitlock is off to another great start, per usual. Into the third quarter now, Dragons start with the ball and the lead. 3rd and 8. Puma Whitlock under pressure up the middle. It's caught by Amarian Cephas. I feel like Cephas does a really good job of laying out to make those tough catches. He's got very impressive body control, really underrated aspect of his game, as Keely Ringo flies into the backfield, gets half a sack there. Ultimately, the Dragons would get nothing else on that drive and punt it away. Hennessy sacked on 3rd down by the rookie, Warwick Eldred Jr. in the backfield to bring him down. Both pass rushes looking good early in the 3rd. Puma goes short on 2nd down. It's Arturo Modelo. He gets it to the 31-yard line. 3rd and 8 with under 4 to go in the quarter. Big possession here for the Dragons. They want to make it a 2-score lead. Puma goes short, broken up, incomplete. He was looking for Amarian Cephas, but Keely Ringo, a Georgia-on-Georgia crime. Ringo makes the play. Dragons settle for 3. 3rd and 5. Hennessy misses another throw. Boubacar Berry, speaking of Georgia players, was wide open. And Hennessy's struggles continue. Dragons back with it up by 7. Here's Milan Santa with room to the left side. Inside the 5. He can't quite get into the end zone. He's pushed out of bounds at the 2 as Amarian Cephas is banged up. That is certainly not good news. He's had trouble staying healthy this year. 1st and goal. Short throw. Caught in the end zone. It's Modelo time. Arturo Modelo with his 16th receiving touchdown of the year. And the NFL's top pass catcher makes it 24-10. Rams back with it, 3rd and 3. They're going to run the ball. Elias Wilson does not get it. Finnegan Howell Coleman brings him down. Rams would have to punt it, and the Dragons are really starting to get control here late in the 3rd. Fully have the momentum bar. Wide open down the field as Wilson Villafana. He gets it to nearly the 50. Nobody was covering him there. 3rd and 4, Puma back in the zone to start the 4th. Under pressure, throws it into the ground, incomplete. We've got a flag, though. I thought maybe there might have been a late hit on the quarterback, but instead, it's an offensive pass interference on Milan Santa. The Rams would decline the penalty. Honestly, I would have accepted it. Try to get the Dragons out of field goal range, even it means going for another 3rd down, because this way, Cameron Dicker makes the long kick from 51, and it's a 3-score game, 27-10. Rams have it back. 2nd and 10. Looks like a screen for Wilson. Lit up in the backfield by Ryan Nada for a loss of 4. 3rd and long now for the Rams. Hennessy looks to throw it under a little bit of pressure. Still under pressure, and he is sacked. Warwick Eldred, who had 2.5 sacks on the year coming into this game, has doubled his sack total. 4th and 22. Hennessy throws it up, and it's caught! Barber again beat off the line of scrimmage, and once he's beat, he usually doesn't catch the receiver. This time, Dubs is able to haul it in, keeps the drive going, and thus any realistic chance the Rams have of winning. 2nd and 10. Hennessy under pressure. He is sacked again. Ryan Nada flies into the backfield, bringing him down for a big loss. The Dragons pass rush making some plays here. 4th and 22. Full prevent defense. They're only rushing 3. So that means Hennessy should have plenty of time to throw it. Interestingly, Bonnet's the one player who isn't doubled as it's broken up. Jalen Bourgeois may never get his first interception. As I said earlier, he drops the easy ones. That ball was right in his hands. Dragons would choose some clock and they would add some points. DeAubrey Thomas with his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th of the year amongst the lead for all rookies. 34-10, the Dragons appear to have this game locked up. Rams looking to make some plays late, but Hennessy's picked off. Cam Lucifer does it again. His 10th of the year, his 9th in the last 5 games. Yes, 5 consecutive games with an interception. 3rd and 2. Richard Russian with the first. That should do it. But Arturo Modelo is injured. A really unfortunate ending to what was a great win for the St. Louis Dragons, and we're going to have to check on his status after this game. Outside of this late injury for Modelo, the team performed really well, 34-10. The defense only allowed 3 points after that initial touchdown within the first couple of minutes. The offense did their thing. I thought our run game wasn't great, especially compared to what it was 2 weeks ago against the Rams, but we still ran it well enough, especially late, and obviously Puma Whitlock and the passing offense was good. Puma completed 66% of his passes, threw for 3 touchdowns. Hennessy, meanwhile, a little bit inconsistent. On the ground, I feel like our rushing stats look good, but again, I feel like neither Juskins or Santa was ultimately effective until the end of the game. Modelo, 8 catches, 101 and a touchdown. Kind of quiet for his standards. Obviously, the injury is something we're going to have to keep an eye on for him and Cephas. D'Aubrey Thomas, meanwhile, 6 catches, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Best game of his pro career so far. Speaking of standout rookies, Warwick Eldred, 4 TFLs, 2.5 sacks. The best game of his career. And then Cam Lucifer with the interception. Let's talk about D'Aubrey Thomas real quick, whose development trait has been revealed. And he has superstar X Factor. What a pick here in the second round. It looks like we have our long-term second receiver behind Arturo Modelo. As long as Puma and Thomas continue to get more chemistry, they're going to be really exciting. No Modelo or Cephas on the injury report. That's exciting. Our center, Mason Rosenberg, though, tore his abdominal. He's going to miss the next 2 games. The rookie, Nolan Meadows, will start in his place. So the Packers ended up losing to the Bears. That means we're 3 ahead of the Rams and the Packers now. Players of the week, Antoine Emerald, Lamar Jackson, Aramis Swearinger, and the former Dragon, Darnell Savage with Tennessee. So that brings us here into Week 14. We've got a short week, Thursday night, our final primetime game of the year. And we are headed to Jerry's World to face off against the Dallas Cowboys, who need to win this game. They are right in the thick of things for the NFC East race and a wild card spot. They can't afford to lose too many games here the rest of the way, but obviously they've got a big challenge with our red-hot St. Louis Dragons, who have now won 8 in a row. Of course, they drafted Connor Canyon in the first round a few years ago, but Dak Prescott's been able to maintain his job. Elijah Sutton and the rookie Rodrigo Juskins lead the way in the backfield. Of course, that is Darwin's younger brother. The receiving core is the best in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb, Dynamite Williams, DJ Moore, and plenty of depth. How are we going to cover these guys? Defensively, Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, really talented young secondary, playmakers on the defensive line. The standout rookie, Houdini Asimbola, who was drafted in the first round, will not play, though. That's a big loss for them, as he is the frontrunner for NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year. So let's get this game underway. Thursday Night Football. The Dragons have won 8 games in a row. We now have the record of 11-1. With 5 games left to go, facing off against the Dallas Cowboys team, who certainly could use a win here. 2 very explosive offenses with playmakers on defense. Certainly 2 of the more fun teams in the NFC. Dragons with a good start to their drive. Here's Milan Santa to the outside. Whoop! Jukes away from the defender, and he gets it to the 3. Big run for Santa, who's played really well over the last couple of weeks, even battling through injury. He's playing his best football here right now. 2nd and goal. Juskins walks the red carpet into the end zone for a touchdown. So Darwin Juskins gets the scoring started here for the Dragons. They lead 7-0 as we take a look at the Cowboys for their first possession of the game. It's Elijah Sutton with the handoff, breaks the tackle, and he gets a solid gain of around 16. Sutton started his career in Detroit behind Jahmyr Gibbs, but has really flourished as a starter with Dallas. Wide open is CeeDee Lamb. Okudah flying away. Jalen Bourgeois thrown off of his back. And CeeDee Lamb tells the defense to CeeDee's nuts. What a play from CeeDee Lamb. Of course, finished off by the natural Jalen Bourgeois missed tackle. And we're tied at 7. 3rd and 6. Puma on the run. What a throw for Jalen Mallard, who gets it to the 47. Puma now on first down under pressure. That ball's out. It's a fumble. And St. Louis is able to scoop it up quickly. Could have been a big turnover. 3rd and 14 now. Puma backs up in the pocket as Voafana wide open. And he gets it inside the 30. I think Voafana is at his best stretching the field. He's not Isaiah Likely where he catches 80 balls a year, but he is a big play threat. Here's Modelo inside the 5 to the 3. Big play for Arturo Modelo. And the Dragons are very close here to the end zone to start the second quarter. Milan Santa jukes his way in for a touchdown. Both of the running backs, Juskins and Santa, have each scored here in the first half, and the Dragons are back ahead 14-7. 3rd and 4 for the Cowboys. It's broken up, incomplete. Barber and Nada each went for the ball. I think if it was only one of them, they could have made a play there, but it's incomplete. Dragons have it back. Puma floats it up into the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. Amarion Cephas with the score, and the Dragons add to the lead. It's 21-7. Big start to the second quarter for St. Louis. They're now up by 2 scores. 3rd and 10. Prescott goes downfield. It is broken up, incomplete. I think that was Navarro who got a hand on it. That'll lead to a punt. Dragons get it back. 3rd and 4 from the 43. Looking to make it a 3-score game. They're going to run the ball, and Santa loses 4. Dyson Dwayne, the former number 2 overall pick out of Utah State. That would lead to a punt. The Cowboys would slowly but surely march their way down the field. 1st and goal. It's a toss to the outside. Elijah Sutton gets decked, and he is injured, grabbing at his leg. His day likely over, which means the rookie, Rodrigo Juskins, will take the reins in the backfield. Darwin's little brother gets to show what he's made of against Big Bro. 3rd and goal. It's caught for a touchdown. Dynamite Williams with the score, and the Cowboys bring it within 1 possession. I feel like we played a really good first half, but we're only up by 7. Going into the second half, I feel like the offense has played well. The passing game, especially the deep passing game, has been really impressive, and I feel like we've ran it a little bit better than we did last week. Both running backs are playing well. They've each scored. The short game's been a little bit inconsistent, though. And then defensively, Dallas is throwing the ball fairly well. They've gotten some big plays. We've got to make sure that doesn't happen. First play of the 3rd. Here's Dak Prescott. Goes downfield. It's caught by Dynamite Williams. Breaks a tackle from Barber. No one's going to catch him. Lights, camera, dynamite! The Cowboys tie it at 21. Dynamite Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game. We're knotted up. 3rd and 4. This pass is incomplete. Broken up. Dallas makes the play in the secondary, and they'll get the ball back. Tie game still. 2nd and 9. Dak connects with DJ Moore up the middle, breaking tackles to the 35. Everything is going the Cowboys' way right now. Remember when the Dragons were up by 14 with possession of the ball? Things have changed quickly. It's been a rough 10 minutes for St. Louis. Prescott up the middle. It's CeeDee Lamb. Breaking tackles, gets it to the 10. Everything that could go well for Dallas is. 3rd and goal now for the Cowboys. Can they take the lead here? Dak, with room to run, pushes his way in for a score, putting his body on the line with Ryan Nada, and the Cowboys have scored 21 unanswered. They take the lead. Dragons back with it, 2nd and 6. Got to get some momentum going. Down the field, it's Robinson. Inside the 30, a huge play for Colin Robinson, who was completely uncovered. Why were they not trying to guard him? 2nd and 10. Here's Puma Whitlock under pressure. He is sacked. Dyson Dwayne makes another play in the backfield. He's been very productive in this game. 3rd and 11. Here's Puma Whitlock under more pressure. This time it's Micah Parsons who brings him down. That'll ultimately stall the drive. The Dragons will look to kick, although it's a long one. 56-yard try for Cameron Dicker, the kicker. It's up. It is good. Dicker drills it. Lead within 4. Dallas gets it back. Big play here. 3rd and 1. It is broken up. DJ Moore as it jarred away. A big hit from Ronrakis Barber. That'll force a punt. St. Louis gets it back. 2nd and 3. Final play of the 3rd. Up the middle. It's DeAubrey Thomas who gets the first down to the 48. Thomas back at home playing in front of some friends and family here in Texas. As that brings us into the 4th. Dragons trail by 4. Puma has a wide open man downfield. It's Colin Robinson to the 5 as this guy is hurt. That is one hell of a name. That looks like 30 letters long. How in the world do you say that? 3rd and goal for the lead. Puma looks for the sidelines. It is caught for a touchdown. DeAubrey Thomas, the rookie, with his 10th score of the year. And the St. Louis Dragons are back ahead. 31-28. Cowboys get it back with 8 to go as they look for the lead back. Here's Dak on 1st down. He is picked off. Guess who? Cam Lucifer. His 6th consecutive game with an interception. When will quarterbacks learn Don't throw the ball near him. That's number 11 on the year for Lucifer. Puma for the end zone. It's caught by Amarion Cephas. And all of a sudden, the tides in this game have switched quick. 17-0 run for the Dragons with this score by Amarion Cephas. And St. Louis is back ahead by 10, 38-28. Prescott under pressure. He is sacked. Another homecoming. Warwick Eldred Jr., the Texas A&M Aggie, returns home. Obviously, our draft class had a lot of Texas players. Richard Rushing, Texas Tech. 3rd and 11. Prescott downfield. It's broken up for Lamb. Good coverage by Ronrakis Barber. It's not too early for the Cowboys to go for it, but this might be for the game. Dak is under pressure. It is caught by Lamb. He gets by Okudah for the first down. Jeff Okudah should have had him wrapped up. And it looked like Dak was under a ton of pressure there from Zion Creed. But ultimately, they'll keep the game going. 3rd and 6 now. It's picked again. Number 12 on the year for Cam Lucifer. These quarterbacks will never learn. 11 interceptions over a 6-week span has to be some kind of record. There's no way that's ever been done before in NFL history. The Dragons would win this game 38-28. This was a game of streaks. It was us who started off hot. Then Dallas goes on a 21-0 run, but then we finish with 17 unanswered, upping the win streak to, I think, like 9 at this point. Overall, I thought the offense was really good. The defense, not their best, but they played really well down the stretch. Puma Whitlock, regular day in the office, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, normal day for him. Dak Prescott, I thought for the most part was pretty good. Don't let the 52% completion percentage fool you. Much of his throws were downfield, but he did struggle in the 4th. Santa and Juskins, identical stat line, 16 for 69, nice, and a touchdown each. They're twins. Our run defense was really good. Sutton had a quiet game, so did Rodrigo. Arturo Modelo was really quiet. 5 catches, 46 yards. He did not play in the 4th quarter as he got injured again. Not good seeing him get banged up over the last couple of weeks. We were just fine without him in the 4th quarter, which I think more so speaks to the volumes of the rest of these guys. Cephas had a great game. He scored twice. Thomas had a great game. Robinson was clutch in the second half. All 3 of them had more yards than Modelo. Dyson Dwayne, 6 TFLs and 2 sacks. Dwayne's been kind of a bust in his NFL career, but he had an incredible game here. And I remember Dwayne played well the last time we played the Cowboys as well. He only plays well against us. Shout out Warwick Eldred. He had another sack. And shout out Cam Lucifer. 2 more interceptions. He is at 12, I think, on the year. So as it stands now, we can actually clinch the number 1 seed depending on what happens around the rest of the NFL. And ultimately, we would not clinch the number 1 seed, but we're very close. The worst we can get now is 2nd place. We've officially clinched the playoffs. We've officially clinched the division. Puma Whitlock wins the Offensive Player of the Week, by the way, of course. He's now at 39 touchdowns on the year. I want to talk about Cam Lucifer, though, real quickly, because he has 12 picks. He's got a chance to break the interceptions record, and it's crazy because he has a 61 catching rating. The all-time record is 14, set by Night Train Lane in 1952. That was 80 years ago. Given Cam Lucifer's pace over the last 6 weeks, there's a real shot he breaks that one once was an unbreakable record. With how well Lucifer's playing, I feel like we need to re-sign him ASAP because his deal is going to go up and up and up, and deservedly so. But there's one problem. We don't have money for next year, and we can't restructure any future contracts. We'll be able to afford him, I think, in the offseason once we're able to restructure some deals, but we can't pay him until then, likely when his future deal goes up. So the big winner of us not having money is Cam Lucifer because he's going to make himself some extra bread. The team now sits at 12-1. As I said earlier, we've clinched the division, we've clinched the playoffs, and with a win and Saints loss, we can clinch the number 1 seed in the NFC as we face off against Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, who need all the wins they can get at 5-8. Hurts has missed a decent chunk of the year with injury, but he is healthy. We will get to see him today, joined by Newton Burke in the backfield, A.J. Brown, Kayshawn Davis, Dejuan Carroll, and Squeezy Pryor Escobar at receiver. No more Devontae Smith. He was traded into the offseason to Minnesota. Defensively, pretty solid. A good group of young players, but this team certainly is not as good as the Eagles we know in real life. A lot of their high-end talent is gone. Guys like Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith haven't really developed into what they had hoped for. And because of that, this team is kind of mediocre. Even with the great quarterback play, of Jalen Hurts. We'll see if the Dragons can up the win streak to 10 against a Philadelphia team who has no margin for error. They really have to win out if they want to get a playoff spot, and obviously that includes winning today. So the Eagles are going to start with the football. Hurts on first down under pressure, and he is sacked. Simeon Bonnet brings him down. An early sack for Bonnet, and it'll go for a loss of 7. 3rd and long now for the Eagles, looking to recoup after the big defensive play, but it's just going to be a screen that Hurts throws right into the ground. Warwick Eldred with the pressure. Eldred is really peaking at the right time. He's been outstanding over the last couple of weeks as St. Louis has the ball. Play action. Puma on the run. It was Modelo wide open, and Modelo gets it to around the 50 for a gain of 25. Modelo ended up dislocating his shoulder in the 4th quarter of the game against Dallas, so obviously it's not a super long-term injury. Back today. Hopefully he stays healthy the whole way as Juskins loses 4, wrapped up by Nolan Smith. 3rd and long. Puma under a ton of pressure, throws it away. The Eagles end up getting the stop, and they'll force a punt as they get it back on offense. 3rd and 4. Neither offense really getting much of anything going so far. Hurts looks to throw it under pressure. Short pass caught by the running back, Newton Burke, and he does not get it. Jeff Okudah and Jabril Fofana are both there to bring him down, and the Eagles would have to punt it away. Dragons get it back, 3rd and 9. Play action fake for Santa. Puma goes downfield. It's D'Aubrey-Thomas. Nothing but green grass ahead. Flips into the end zone for his 11th touchdown of the year. D'Aubrey-Thomas continuing to live in the end zone. Dragons score first. They lead 7-0. Eagles back with it, still without a first down so far, as Hurts connects, nearly picked by Okudah, who just misses the play on the ball. Kayshawn Davis ends up with the first down. 3rd and 11 now from the 26. Hurts looks to throw it, throws it up, and it is incomplete. It was overthrown. Again, Barber cannot win press coverage off the line of scrimmage, and for whatever reason, he's not fast enough to catch up to these speedy receivers. Luckily, the pass was incomplete. Dragons back with it, 3rd and 5. Up the middle, as I talked about in the Rams game, Amarion Cephas' body control is so impressive. A very underrated aspect of him as a player. 2nd and 4, Puma on the run. Connects. It's Thomas again! You might as well build real estate in the end zone because D'Aubrey-Thomas might as well live here. 2nd touchdown of the game, number 12 on the year. At this pace, he might be catching up to Modelo in terms of touchdowns. Eagles back with it. Hurts is thrown to the ground on 3rd down. Simeon Bonnet and Warwick Eldred with half a sack each. Bonnet with a sack and a half on the day. Dragons get it back, looking to add to the lead. 3rd and 12. Here's Puma. His pass is caught. Modelo wide open. Whoop! Jukes away from the defender. What a play after the catch by Arturo Modelo, who gets it to around the 16-yard line. Puma's in the zone. Dragons looking to make it a 3-score lead. 3rd and 6. Puma for the corner. It is incomplete. He was hoping Modelo would draw a flag or something. The running back was open in the flat. That was a bad mistake from Puma Whitlock, and it costs the Dragons 4 points as they settle for the field goal. Eagles back with it. Minute to go in the half. 17-0 lead. Hurts under pressure. He is sacked again. 2.5 sacks in the first half for Simeon Bonnet. 3rd down and 13 now. Play action. Hurts under more pressure from Bonnet. Rolls out to the left, and he is sacked again. Cam Lucifer into the backfield with a sack. I can't imagine he's got many of those in his NFL career. His first of the year. Dragons back with it, looking to add to the lead. 3rd and 5. Puma on the run. Has an open man. Thomas cannot hang on. Potentially a touchdown, or at least close to. But he cannot hang on as Shamori Dibukuji, the 5th-year safety out of South Carolina, former teammate of Cam Lucifer in the Gamecock secondary, is there with the deflection. Overall, a really good start, though. We've been very impressive on defense. The Eagles have got nothing going on the offensive side of the ball, and our offense has been quite productive as well. Puma Whitlock's having a nice day. D'Aubrey-Thomas has scored twice, nearly 3 times if he didn't drop the ball. We're probably going to run it a lot here in the second half, being that we lead pretty comfortably, and we start with the football, trying to turn this into an all-out blowout. 3rd and 9, Thomas open again! But once more, he cannot hang on. Cam Taylor-Britt with the deflection. Again, that's possibly a touchdown if he hangs on. D'Aubrey-Thomas has caught 2 scores today, but you can make the argument that he's dropped 2 more. Eagles back with it on first down. A.J. Brown with the play. Throws Bourgeois off his back, and he gets it to the 23. I really would love to watch a 5-minute highlight reel of Jalen Bourgeois' lowlights. That would be kind of funny. Hurts on the option. Gets a solid gain, but he is injured. Not good news for Philadelphia. Not a serious injury. He should return shortly. But for now, the second-round rookie Arroyo Schmitnikov is in the game at quarterback. First and goal from the 9, the lefty Schmitnikov, who played a couple games this year due to injury, connects with A.J. Brown for the touchdown, and the Eagles are finally on the board as it is 17-7. So that's why they drafted a quarterback in the second round. It all makes sense now. Dragons back with it. Puma on first down, sends it downfield, and this time DeAubrey Thomas will hang on as he gets it to the 10. Thomas nearing the century mark in yardage. Second and goal. Modelo hangs on for the score. He took a shot from Cam Taylor-Britt. Had some words after with Shamori Dubukuji, but he still hangs on. It's 24-7. Eagles back with it. 2 to go in the third. Jalen Hurts back in the game. He's in the zone as he connects up the middle to the 13-yard line. That's Kayshawn Davis. The Eagles' offense has been light years different from the first half to the second half. Give him credit. As on first and goal, Hurts keeps it himself on the read option. He is in for the score, and the Philadelphia Eagles are within 10. Their offense continuing to play well here in the third quarter. Dragons back with it. Here's Darwin Juskins to the left side. Looks to outrun the defender. He fumbles it, and it's scooped up by J.T. Robinson, the former Eagle. I think they might have gained yards because of the fumble. It's like Darwin Juskins threw the ball forward. 3rd and 8. Puma Whitlock is sacked. Sabbath Katopotis brings him down. I think Nolan Smith might have been there as well for half a sack each. Eagles get it back now, 3rd and 2. They can make it a one-score game here. All of a sudden, we might have ourselves a ball game. Hurts looks to throw it. Under some pressure, throws it up downfield. It's caught! Kayshawn Davis to the 27. Davis has had a big game. Okudah has struggled against him in coverage. Back-to-back, not so good weeks for Jeff Okudah. 2nd and 3 up the middle. A.J. Brown lined up in the slot, brings it to the 11. A rare bad rep from Cam Lucifer. Imagine saying that last year when Lucifer was burnt toast. 2nd and 7. Eagles looking to make the deficit within 3. Hurts under pressure on the run. Walks it in. His second touchdown of the game. What a third quarter for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's 24-21. The deficit sits at 3, but clock is ticking. 4 minutes left to go. 3rd and 10. Puma Whitlock throws it up. It's caught! Wilson Volafana with the play of his career so far to the 47. What a play from Volafana. Juskins with a nice move. He gets the first down, but Wilson Volafana is hurt. He ultimately is the sacrifice for his incredible catch. The backup tight end, Gift Aaron Jr., also got injured earlier in this game. So the Dragons only have one healthy tight end on their roster, 6th-round rookie Rick Gafford. First down, under 3 to go. Milan Santa fumbles it, and it's picked up by the Eagles. The last couple of minutes have completely fallen apart for us as Pop McKenzie recovers the fumble. That ball was clean out. You could tell in real time that is definitely a fumble if you want replay confirmation. Yeah, that ball is definitely out. A rare fumble from the Dragons running backs. This time it's Milan Santa. And the Eagles, only down by 3, can take the lead after they were getting blown out in the first half. 2:51 to go from the 15. Hurts in the zone is picked! Okudah with the interception, and this drive will not last long at all. One play interception for Okudah, making up for some bad plays in coverage earlier. And now the Dragons look to shut the door. 3rd and 10. Puma throws it into the ground incomplete. So the Dragons only use around a minute of clock. The Eagles don't have to burn any timeouts. And it will remain a one-possession game as Cameron Dicker makes the field goal, 24-27. Certainly not as easy as the last drive could have been for the Eagles. Instead of down by 3, they're now down by 6. Now they need a touchdown. We'll see if they can get it, trying to snap St. Louis's winning streak. 3rd and 3. Hurts under pressure. Nice throw. It is caught to around the 50. Got to keep it going. No huddle. That's Aristotle Casablanca with the reception. Under pressure. Warwick Eldred again. 5.5 sacks over the last 3 weeks for the rookie. 3rd and 12. Nice catch. Eagles call timeout. That's Dejuan Carroll who hangs on. Under 30 to go, 3rd and 10, up the middle. It's Kayshawn Davis this time, another first. Eagles are going to have to move quick. They ultimately used their last timeout. So now the Dragons just know, don't let this ball go in the end zone. So they're going to play full prevent defense, rushing 3. Why is Bonnet, the lone guy, not being doubled? Hurts throws it up. It's caught. That's Carroll. He gets it to the 3. Will they have enough time for one more play? It's going to be close. They will not! And the Dragons hang on for dear life to defeat the Philadelphia Eagles 27-21. This is a game we should have locked up early, but we did not play a good second half. Those drops by Thomas hurt us. The defense struggled in the second half, but we played really well in the first half to where we're still able to get the win. That is 10 victories in a row for the now 13-1 St. Louis Dragons, who are a Saints loss away from clinching the number 1 seed for, I believe, the second time in team history. Overall, a pretty good showing. Again, not great in the second half. Puma Whitlock, normal day in the office, 3 more touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, I thought, was pretty solid. He did have the bad interception late, which I feel like really costed them. Had they not had to get a touchdown, they probably would have scored. Run game was not good. Both Juskins and Santa fumbled. Neither of them were very efficient. I thought the Eagles' defensive line was really good. In the receiving game, Kayshawn Davis was impressive. Modelo, under 100 yards. He's been cold for his standards as of recent. 7 for 95 and a touchdown is good for literally any other receiver ever. But for Modelo, that's below average. DeAubrey Thomas with a big game, 5 catches for 119 and 2 touchdowns, but he had 2 really bad drops. If he caught those passes, he'd have 7 for 200 yards and maybe 4 scores. The pass blocking was good, a lot better than the run blocking. And defensively, we were good early, not so good late. Bonnet and Eldred combined for 4 sacks. Those 2 guys are really heating up. I'm very confident in our edge duo of the future with how well Warwick Eldred has played as of recent. Cam Lucifer did not record an interception, though. The first time in like 6 weeks. The all-time record is 8 consecutive games with an interception, so he was ultimately just a couple shy. We do have a couple new injuries. Both of them are in the tight end room. Wilson Villafana tore his labrum. Gift Aaron Jr. tore his abdominal. Both of them will be out for the rest of the regular season. They'll be back in time for the divisional round of the playoffs, which is a huge relief. But for now, we only have 1 tight end on the roster, and we don't have the money to sign another, so I guess it'll be the Rick Gafford show at tight end for the final 3 games of the regular season. I'm intrigued to see what the youngster can do as a full-time starter, with literally nobody challenging him for his spot. Players of the week, Juan Escala-Salazar, CJ Stroud, Emmanuel Forbes, and Mapanos Gaspar. So that brings us into week 16. In case you guys didn't notice on the scores tab, the Saints lost, which means we've clinched the number 1 seed. I can't remember the last time a team clinched the top seed with 3 games left to go in the season. So what does that mean for us? We're going to be the number 1 seed going into the playoffs no matter what. We're going to try to win these games, and we're mostly going to play our starters because I don't want guys to get rusty. Along with that, we've got some players who are chasing milestones. Puma Whitlock is looking to win the MVP. He's got an outside shot, but a shot at the touchdowns record. Arturo Modelo looking to break receiving records. DeAubrey Thomas looking to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then on defense, Simeon Bonnet looking to break the tackle for loss record. Cam Lucifer looking for the interception record. Both of them, along with Owen Popo, looking for Defensive Player of the Year. Warwick Eldred looking for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Those guys all have reasons to play here over the last 3 weeks of the year, and I'm going to give them their opportunities to win their awards and break their records. Let's look at the Giants, who are 5-9 this year, despite the fact that Stanley Cubbage Jr. has been quite solid. The highs with him this year have been really high. He's won multiple Offensive Player of the Weeks, including Week 3, the game where Arturo Modelo had 17 catches. The lows with him have been low, though. The Giants extended him for honestly kind of cheap, and I think it's a really good contract for a player of his caliber. Nico Alexander, Jaleel Mbrea, Deebo Samuel, and Emery Lavelle lead the way in terms of skill position players, along with tight end Amiri Jackson. Their defense is really similar to what it was at the start of this series, and they've added Kyle Hamilton as well, but clearly this team hasn't been all that good over the last couple of years, despite the fact that Stanley Cubbage Jr. has really improved. Imagine if he was on the Rams. They'd be unstoppable. We do have one other milestone that I did not go over. Darwin Juskins is at 998 rushing yards, so he will eclipse the 1,000 mark today, something that has never been done in Dragons history. We've never had a 1,000-yard rusher, believe it or not. Joe Mixon back in Season 2 is the closest, but he never did it. DeAndre Swift never did it. Darwin Juskins has obviously never done it until hopefully today. Likely the first 1,000-yard rusher in team history, hopefully early in this game. And there's an outside shot. Milan Santa hits the 1,000 yards mark as well, which is pretty crazy. Obviously, the Dragons have clinched the number 1 seed, but they're going to play their starters. Now, if the game turns into a blowout or we have some injuries, we're going to bring in backups sooner than later. Juskins starts with a gain of 10, and there it is. 1,000 rushing yards for Darwin Juskins. The first time in Dragons history it's been done. The rest of the drive would be a big old pile of nothing, as Puma Whitlock has to throw it away under pressure from Dexter Lawrence and others. So the Giants get it. Here's Stanley Cubbage Jr., the fourth-year pro out of Oregon, on 3rd and 17 under pressure from guess who? Warwick Eldridge Jr. The pass is incomplete. St. Louis gets the ball. Both offenses start with a 3-and-out. 3rd and 4 from the 41. Here's Puma Whitlock looking downfield. It is out of bounds. Amarion Cephas just barely unable to drag the feet in. Honestly, in hindsight, I wish we would have challenged it. Instead, gonna go for it on 4th down. We've already clinched the 1 seed. What is there to lose? The rookie, Rick Gafford, hangs on for the first down as he brings it to the 30 for a gain of 11. I'm intrigued to see Gafford along with extra snaps for other young players over the next few weeks, as Juskins has a juke move, and he is gone! What a run for Darwin Juskins, and the Dragons lead at 7-0. What a play there for Juskins, who of course broke the 1,000 yards mark for the first time in his career earlier in this game, and now he gets a sick touchdown with it. Giants have it back, trailing. Here's Cubbage on 3rd and 5. It is broken up, incomplete by Ronrakis Barber. I think he was looking for Isaiah Hodgins, the veteran, who has found a home with the Giants now for like 8 seasons. Up the middle, Amarion Cephas is wide open, down the field, runs out of bounds at the 32. Huge play there for Amarion Cephas, and the Dragons are moving it nicely here, still in the first quarter, 3rd and 7. Puma Whitlock on the run, under pressure, incomplete. Looking for Modelo, but nobody was open. Good coverage by Xavier McKinney. The Dragons would ultimately take the points. They lead 10-0. Giants have it back, 2nd and 11. Here's Cubbage looking to throw it, going downfield. What a catch! Deebo Samuel with it, and he's wrapped up by Jalen Bourgeois, but not before bringing it to the 45. Deebo, of course, many great years in San Francisco, traded in the offseason to the Giants. 3rd and 1 on the goal line. Cubbage goes short. It's caught by Miko Alexander, and he's wrapped up out of bounds. Nice tackle by Jalen Bourgeois. Say what you want about his tackling, but that might have saved the Dragons some points. Or did it? The Giants are going to go for it on 4th and 2. I love the aggressiveness here. Why not go for it? It's a handoff for Miko Alexander, and he walks in for the touchdown. Alexander, the talented running back out of Georgia, former number 1 recruit in his high school class. Took a little while for him to really get going as a player, but once he was able to figure it out, he turned into a star with the Bulldogs and has turned into a star with the Giants. Up the middle on 1st down, impressive throw on the run. Nice catch by Amarion Cephas. 3rd and 10 now from the 39. Puma goes short, broken up. Gafford had his hands on it a few times, but the ball is jarred away late from Kyle Hamilton. 4th and 10. Dragons are going to kick. It's a 56-yarder, and it's no good. Wide to the right for Cameron Dicker. That one was not even close. It'll remain 10-7, and the Giants get it back, still with 7 to go in the half, as they look to potentially take the lead. Cubbage on 1st down, looks to throw it, has a clean pocket, takes his shot. Deebo comes down with it. He puts Ronrakis Barber on a poster. What a catch by Deebo Samuel in his 10th NFL season. The veteran, who of course holds the record for the most receiving touchdowns in a season, comes down with it. Here's Alexander, untouched, his 2nd score of the first half. Tough start for the Giants, but they take the lead, 14-10. Dragons get it back, 6 to go. Here's Puma Whitlock under some pressure. He connects with Arturo Modelo. Big play after the catch, and he is out of bounds at the 35. Puma has been inefficient so far. I think he's 7 of 17, but when he has completed passes, they've gotten some big plays. 3rd and 11, short throw, caught by Milan Santa. Nice play after the catch, wrapped up at the 20. But again, that keeps the chains moving. Puma's missed a number of passes today, but I feel like his receivers have not done him many favors. There have been quite a few drops. 3rd and inches, Juskins powers his way into the end zone, for a touchdown. His second of the first half. Big start today for Darwin Juskins. He's not satisfied with just 1,000. He wants 1,100. He wants 1,200. We'll see if he can get it. 17-14, 3rd and 3. Incomplete. Broken up by Penultimo Barahona as Emery Lavelle was the intended target. Dragons get it back. They're up by 3, looking to add to the lead with 2 minutes to go in the first half. 3rd and 8. It's going to be a short screen for Darwin Juskins. He has some blocks, and he gets 7. But unfortunately, Darwin Juskins dislocated his hip. He'll be out for the game, probably the rest of the regular season, and who knows about the playoffs. That's really bad news. It'll be the Milan Santa show in the backfield the rest of the way. There's Emery Lavelle with a nice first down. 3rd and 8 now, around 30 to go here in the first half. Giants can tie or possibly take the lead. Here's a man open downfield to the 10. It's Isaiah Hodgins. Giants going no huddle. Ultimately, they would be called for a penalty. And then with 5 seconds left, they're going to look to kick. To tie the game, the kick is up, and it is good through the first half. We are knotted up at 17. The big storyline, though, for the Dragons is the injury to Darwin Juskins. He was on fire in the first half, and now he is hurt, which really sucks. Milan Santa is going to be the main running back. We're also going to see some Richard rushing as well. The question, though, with Santa is obviously the injuries. He's never made it through a full NFL season. He's been banged up this year. He only plays around 40% of the snaps, so now he's going to be in the backfield like 80% of the time. We also have to stop the Giants' offense. They've thrown the ball well. Stanley Cuppage Jr. has been really effective so far, while our passing game has been really not that good. Cuppage is picked off. Cam Lucifer with another. His 13th of the year as Ryan Knott has hurt. Lucifer is 1 shy of tying the interceptions record, 2 shy of breaking it. Dragons with a huge momentum boost looking to take the lead. On the run, Arturo Modelo outrunning defenders. Pushed away at the 5. Big play for Arturo Modelo, and the Dragons can just taste it. We'll see if they can punch it in, take the lead back as on 1st and goal. Puma with open rushing room instead goes for the pass. And it's hauled in by DeAubrey Thomas. Touchdown number 13 on the year for number 13 on the field. What a rookie season it has been for Thomas as the Dragons are up 24-17. Giants back with it. RPO is picked. Owen Popo with his 4th interception of the year. Things are spiraling downhill fast for the Giants. The reason why this Dragons team is so dangerous is because they can have an off half, but they get a couple big plays in a row on both sides of the ball, and they're kind of unstoppable after that as Milan Santa nearly gets the first down. Big stop, though, by the Giants. It's 4th and inches. You can make it a multi-score lead with the field goal, but when you're that close, the Dragons are going to go for it. It's Milan Santa to the outside with a 1st and more. Big run for Santa as he brings it to the 18-yard line for a 1st down conversion. Dragons now in prime position to make it a 2-score lead, specifically a 14-point lead. 2nd and 5, Puma on the run. It's Modelo time once again. Another score for Arturo Modelo. 31-17. Dragons all of a sudden have all the momentum, up by 14 points, and now the Giants really got to get something going here. 3rd down and 4, little over 2 to go in the 3rd. Here's Cubbage, looks to throw it up the middle. Nice go, he dropped it. Big hit by Cortez Navarro, laying the boom on the receiver. The Giants are going to go for it here on 4th and 4. They converted for a touchdown earlier today. Looking to do the same here. Cubbage looks to throw it under some pressure. Hit as he throws, it's broken up. Another dropped interception for Jalen Bourgeois. That's probably the 50th of his career, or at least it feels like that. Dragons get it back. 3rd down and long. Puma Whitlock calls for an audible. We'll see what he's got up his sleeve here, and it's a run. All that for a loss of about 4. Santa wrapped up on the play by Brian Asamoah. So that'll lead to a punt. New York gets it back. Still 31-17. Cubbage with no time. He is sacked. Zion Creed into the backfield, forcing a loss of around 7. 3rd down now for the Giants. They get back close to the original line of scrimmage. Possibly the final play of the quarter. Cubbage alone in the backfield. Looks to throw it, and he misfires. Had an open man, but he's unable to make the play. Darren Hamilton celebrating as if he did something. I like Hamilton a lot as a player, but that wasn't exactly his best rep. Dragons back with it. 3rd and 4. Santa loses a yard. Nice play by the big man. Sexy Dexy. Jonathan Allen was there as well. He'll get credited with the tackle, although that really looked like Lawrence who made the play in my opinion. and the Giants get it back. Still a 14-point game. The door is still open. Or is it? Cam Lucifer ties the record. His second interception of the game, 14th of the year, ties Night Train Lane's interception record that stood alone for nearly 80 years. Lucifer just needs one more interception to break the record. Dragons trying to choose some clock. Puma under pressure, incomplete. Giants will get it back. Cam Lucifer's in the zone, by the way. All he needs is that third interception, and he will break the record. 3rd and 2, they go to the ground. Simeon Bonnet in the backfield, forcing a loss of 5 on Alexander. 4th and 7, Giants got to go for it. Cubbage looks to throw it, goes downfield. It is incomplete. He overshoots it for Emery LaVille. Good coverage by the defense. St. Louis gets it back on offense, looking to add some insurance points. Puma on the first play of the drive has Arturo Modelo. He is in for a score. Once again, it is Modelo time. Arturo Modelo does it again. It's a 21-point lead. 3rd and 10 with 3 minutes to go here for the Giants. Cubbage on the screen. It's broken up. Nice hit by, it looks like, Deku Etienne, the rookie out of LSU. 4th and 10. They're obviously going to have to go for it. Cubbage under pressure from Bonnet. It is caught. What a play by Isaiah Hodgins to turn his body and make the grab at the 5. They couldn't get anything on the first 3 downs. It's now 4th and goal for the game. Cubbage under pressure. It is broken up. Incomplete. That'll do it. This game was tied at 17, 1 point. The Giants really had some good things going, but those turnovers in the third quarter kind of killed them. St. Louis gets some big plays on offense, and ultimately they win this one by 21 points, improving to a record of 14-1, now having won 11 games in a row. It wasn't a perfect day on offense, but overall pretty solid. Defense allowed 17 in the second, but no points in the other 3 quarters. The Giants did, though, have nearly as many yards as we did. Stanley Cubbage Jr. threw the ball damn near 60 times. He did throw 3 interceptions, but I don't think he was that bad, even if the stats look like it. He barely completed 50% of his passes, as did Puma Whitlock. He still threw 3 touchdowns and no picks, but Puma did not have a very good game for his standards, one of his worst of the year. On the ground, Darwin Juskins was really good, and then he got injured. Unfortunately, likely out for the year. Isaiah Hodgins with the quietest 140-yard game I've ever seen. Modelo scored twice. Thomas had the other score. And then defensively, I thought we were quite solid. Only 1 sack. That was by Zion Creed. But we did have the 3 interceptions, 2 of which were by Cam Lucifer. He's now at 14 on the year, tying the NFL single-season record. We've got 2 new injuries. The big one, of course, Darwin Juskins dislocated his hip. He will be back in time for the divisional round, though. I can't help but feel like we really dodged a bullet with his injury. Even though he's going to be out for the rest of the year, he still got his 1,000 yards, and he will be back in time for the playoffs. He was so good last year in the postseason. Very relieved that he'll be healthy. Jalen Mallard broke his ribs. He'll be out through the divisional round, so I think it'll be largely Colin Robinson returning kicks. We might have Thomas there as well. Here are your scores around the league. Not that any of them really affect us. Players of the week, Deontay Harris, Josh Allen, A.J. Terrell, and Gomes DeLawfer. That brings us into Week 17 against the Tennessee Titans. They are not very good at 4-11. The Titans have been really bad throughout the entire duration of the series, despite drafting Otto Askew in the top 5 all the way back in Season 1. Remember when we were trying to figure out what we would do in that draft? Otto Askew was the other big option at quarterback along with Puma Whitlock. Obviously, I think it's fair to say Puma's had the better career. I will say, though, Otto Askew is having a really good season. It's not translating to the win column, but at 28 years old, it feels like he's finally broken out. I'm surprised the Titans extended him after the first 4 years didn't really go so well, but they paid him. It's kind of working out. Again, he's having a good year. The team is just, it's really not good, and it's never been good during the duration of this series. They do have some fun players out of the backfield with DeClaine Williamson and Zalorian Brazil. At receiver, they've got Elijah Moore, who's been really good this year, along with Isaiah Thomas, Midas Mecole Jr., and CC Flash. Tight end Noble Barnes is a fun player. Christian Kennedy, the corner, he was in the same draft class as Cam Lucifer. We thought about picking Kennedy, but he ultimately went a few picks before us getting Lucifer. Obviously, everything worked out pretty well. Lucifer is pretty close to breaking the interceptions record, so we are not complaining. 2 more games left to go. This is our final true road game of the year, being that we're at home in Week 18 against Indy. And then all of our playoff games we'll be at home. We'll be at home for the divisional round. If we win that, we'll be at home for the conference championship. And then the Super Bowl is neutral site. No more road games after this one. It's kind of like last season where we had all those home games in a row at the end of the year, which was a big advantage to us. Here's Midas Mikal Jr. Look at Bourgeois going flying. I still can't help but laugh every time he does something embarrassing like that. I feel like that play was more on Ronrakis Barber, though. That was not good coverage. 2nd and 2, up the middle. It's Isaiah Thomas in for the score. A rare poor cover rep by Cam Lucifer. Haven't seen him allow many scores this year, but the Titans march down the field. They lead 7-0. Dragons back with it. Puma Whitlock on the run here on 2nd and 7. He's going to look to scramble. He's got room. Tries to put his body on the line. He's out at the 1. That was a stupid play by Puma Whitlock. We've clinched the 1 seed. Don't do anything idiotic. 1st and goal. It's an RPO screen for Amarion Cephas, who goes in with what will be credited as a rushing touchdown. St. Louis ties it at 7. Titans get it back. 3rd and 11. Here's Otto Askew on the run. It is caught for a first down. Hauled in by Isaiah Thomas. Otto Askew's looking really good. I know it's early, but I have been impressed. The one time we've played Askew in this series, he got injured pretty early in that game, so I'm excited to finally see a full game from him. 3rd and 5. It's another score for Tennessee. Midas Mikal Jr., the former receiver at the University of Washington, is in for a touchdown. It's 14-7. Dragons would get it back. They march all the way down the field. They would tie the game quickly with Milan Santa, who, of course, is carrying the load today with Darwin Juskins out. Tied at 14. Both offenses looking great so far as Askew is sacked. Simeon Bonnet brings him down for a loss of about 3. Bonnet, of course, another member of that 2024 draft class, and it's now 2nd and long for the Titans after the sack. Askew and empty, looks to throw it, goes downfield, has an open man. It's the tight end, Noble Barnes, who gets it to the 46-yard line. It feels weird being back here in Tennessee. Obviously, we had the Titans franchise last year, and we haven't played many games in this series in this building, as it's a big loss for Zalori in Brazil, losing 5. Simeon Bonnet brings him down. Another big play in the run game for the NFL's best run defender, and it is now 3rd and 7 from around the 50. Play action. Askew looks to throw it under pressure. It's Warwick Eldred Jr. who brings him down. Eldred's ascension for us has been so key. I mean, he continues to play really well, and as I said earlier, has peaked at the right time. Dragons back with it. Modelo is wide open. I feel like he could have made a bigger play after the catch. Wanted to make sure he would hold on to the ball there. The throw might have been a little bit offline. 3rd and 8 now. Puma takes a shot downfield. It's Modelo again. Wrapped up inside the 20 at the 18. That's L'Jarius Sneed who brings him down. And now St. Louis looks to take their first lead of the game. It's Milan Santa to the outside with blocks. Whoop! Jukes away from the defender. He is in for the score. Milan Santa with his 2nd touchdown of the first half. He has done really well so far, kind of being the guy in the backfield. We saw Juskins was really good when it was just him last year in the playoffs. Now Milan Santa gets that opportunity to be solo, and he as well has been really good. Here's one of the running backs. DeClain Williamson breaks a tackle, brings it inside the 45 where he's wrapped up by Owen Popo. Big gain, though, for Tennessee as they continue to move the ball really well on offense. Possibly the final play before the 2-minute warning. It's a read option. That ball's out. It's Lucifer with the forced fumble, and Otto Askew will pick it up. Otto is not the most fleet of foot. I think having him run design QB runs isn't the best strategy. Throwing the ball makes a lot more sense. He connects downfield for another big first down conversion, and now with 21 seconds left at 2nd and goal, Titans looking to tie the game, and they will! Askew with his 3rd passing touchdown of the first half into the hands of Isaiah Thomas. We've got a good one so far in Nashville, 21-21. Otto has thrown 3 passing touchdowns while Puma has none. Not to say Puma's been bad. Our run game has been tremendous. Milan Santa has been phenomenal in a homecoming for him. Remember, Santa did play at the University of Memphis. Obviously, Nashville and Memphis are on the complete opposite side of the state, but it's still the same state, I guess. So we got to get the passing game going a little bit more, although, again, Puma's obviously been good. And then defensively, we can't stop Otto. Perfect passer rating in the intermediate game. Got to make sure that doesn't continue. 2nd and 4 to start the 3rd. Up the middle. DeAubrey Thomas with a nice catch to the 30. 3rd and 2 now from the 6, looking for the lead under pressure. Broken up in the end zone again, looking for Thomas. But Dakari Stanton got a hand on it. So the Dragons would kick. They lead by 3 as Simeon Bonnet is in the backfield. Zalorian Brazil has had a rough game. He's got 12 yards. Bonnet with another TFL. Titans are moving it well, though. But on 2nd and 3, there he is again. Another tackle for loss from Bonnet, this time with DeClain Williamson losing yardage. Now it's 3rd and 7 for the Titans. They are in field goal range. I'm sure they'd like more than that. But it's incomplete. Good coverage by the defense. Tennessee would tie it at 24. Dragons get it back. Minute left in the 3rd. Play action. Puma Whitlock on the run. Goes short for DeAubrey Thomas down the sideline. Pushed out at the 15. St. Louis back in the red zone looking for this lead back now early in the 4th. 3rd and goal. Puma goes short, and it's Modelo once again with the score. It's Modelo time for the 20th time this year. A career high in receiving touchdowns for Arturo puts him in an elite list with 20 receiving touchdowns in a season. Not many can say they've done it. There's Bonnet in the backfield, another sack. He has been all over the backfield today. 5 TFLs and 2 sacks. Dude's an animal. Titans would have to punt it as the Dragons get it back. Big run from Milan Santa. Down the field, into the red zone. He's out of bounds at the 14. 20 carries for $135 for Milan Santa. He's been impressive. 1st and goal. It's Modelo time. Arturo Modelo with his 21st receiving touchdown of the year. Keep in mind the record is 25, set by Deebo Samuel a few years ago. 4th down pass is broken up there by Owen Popo. Dragons looking for some late points here as Richard Rushing is in for the rushing touchdown, his 2nd of the year. This game was so close, and now all of a sudden the Dragons are up by 21. 3rd and 13, Askew throws it up, Bourgeois under it, he's got a chance, and he drops it! He's never going to pick off a pass. The poor guy. He'll never do it. He's had so many chances to get that first career interception, and he's come up short every time. 45-24, Dragons win it. They're now 15-1. 12 wins in a row. Dominance, 21-0 in the 4th quarter. The run game was unbelievable. Milan Santa had himself a day. I was impressed with Otto Askew. 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. He was really good. Puma Whitlock was also really good, 76% completion percentage, 2 more touchdowns. The big story of the day, though, was Milan Santa. 30 carries for 210 yards, a team record for the most rushing touchdowns in a game in Dragons history. I'm pretty sure he's above 1,000 yards now. We've never had an 1,000-yard rusher, and now this year we have 2. 10 for 120 and 2 touchdowns for Modelo. He is in prime position to break the receptions record next week against the Colts. Defensively, 5 TFLs, 2 sacks for Simeon Bonnet. He's an animal. Warwick Eldred also with 2 sacks. No interceptions, though. Cam Lucifer unable to break the picks record. We're hoping he can do it in Week 18. Here's a look at our scores around the league for Week 17. We've now got 1 more week left to go. As for the players of the week, obviously Milan Santa wins it for the NFC. He's joined by Trevor Lawrence, Byron Murphy, and Marlon Humphrey. So let's look at all of the milestones and records and awards we have up for grabs in Week 18. Puma Whitlock's got a chance at 50 touchdowns. If he gets to 51, that would put him 2nd all-time. I don't think he's going to get the Peyton Manning mark, though. Arturo Modelo, 143 catches for 1,700 yards and 21 touchdowns. He needs 6 receptions to tie the record and 7 to break it. I think he should be able to get it. Touchdowns and receiving yards is going to be a lot harder. He would need 5 receiving touchdowns to break it. Probably not going to happen. He needs almost 300 receiving yards to break the yards record. Probably not going to happen, but receptions is very doable. Simeon Bonnet, 39 tackles for loss. That is tied with J.J. Watt for the most TFLs in a season ever. I'd also like to point out that the only other seasons with 30-plus tackles for loss are by Simeon Bonnet and Simeon Bonnet again. Now he looks to be the first player in NFL history to go up to 40. It's been nice seeing him fully healthy this year. He's not going to break the sacks record, but the TFL record should be very achievable very early in the first half against the Colts. Warwick Eldred's going for Defensive Rookie of the Year. DeAubrey Thomas is going for Offensive Rookie of the Year. And in my opinion, the biggest is Cam Lucifer, 14 interceptions, tied with Night Train Lane for the record 77 years ago. And he's going to look to break it here in Week 18 against Anthony Richardson and the Colts. As I mentioned, obviously, I want to see these rookies win the awards. Warwick Eldred has climbed all the way up to second for Defensive Rookie of the Year, only behind Houdini Asimbola with the Cowboys. We're going to be smart with how we play our guys, though. We're mostly going to ease our backups into this game. All of the starters will start. But once we get to the second half, we're going to put most of the backups in. We're going to keep our guys chasing records in until they break the record, and then we're going to take them out. For instance, I expect Simeon Bonnet to get a tackle for loss in the first quarter. Once he does, we're going to take him out. Once Lucifer gets an interception, if he does, we're going to take him out. Same with Arturo Modelo. I think that record's very achievable as well because we can easily force feed him the ball. It's the Lucifer one that's a question mark because interceptions are just kind of a weird stat like that. And we're going to play a lot of the young guys. All the rookies are going to play. Thomas and Warwick Eldred are going to play the whole game, while other rookies and second-year guys who have been depth will get a nice opportunity to play, including QB Amir Strauss. So this is what the standings look like with 1 week to go. The Ravens have gotten red hot. They're back in. The Colts, by the way, have won their division, but they are playing for seeding, so this game does matter for them. It's crazy seeing Jacksonville 5-11. How do we lose to that team? We stand at 15-1. There are still multiple wild card spots up for grabs here in the NFC, along with the NFC North between the Bears and the Packers. Seattle's won 5 in a row, by the way. They're not going to make a playoff spot, but good for them, I guess. Maybe Antoine Emerald is their franchise quarterback after all this. So let's look at the Colts led by Anthony Richardson, who's had a really similar career trajectory to that of Otto Askew in the sense that things started really rough, really early on. 29 interception is in his second season, but he's gotten a lot better. He's really transformed his game. He's become one of the more efficient QBs in the league. And the Colts nearly made the Super Bowl last year. They lost the AFC Championship by 1. Dontavius Brown leads the way in the backfield. Kyon Sparks, Jahan Dotson, Michael Pittman, and Rashard Hobart at tight end lead a talented receiving corps. They've got a really fun defense. Deshaun Faith has developed into a great player at corner. Russell Bradshaw, Sergio Jimenez, Mamadou Sal, Victor Ridgewood. A lot of high draft picks who have really turned into good players. This is a fun team, and I'm excited to play against them here in Week 18. They've also got Xavion Creed, that's Zion's brother. And speaking of Zion, he's going to play a lot today. I'm excited to see him in action. So let's get this show on the road, our final regular season game of the year, and as you can see, it's in the snow. The Dragons look to add one more win to the win column and make some history in the process, with many players chasing awards and milestones. Arturo Modelo looks for the receptions record. Simeon Bonnet looks for the tackles for loss record. Cam Lucifer looks for the interceptions record. We'll see if those guys can break them and the Dragons can get their 13th consecutive win. 2nd and 8, Richardson sacked by Malachi Weston. He didn't lose any yards there, but a nice play by Weston, who's kind of flown under the radar with the emergence of the rookie Warwick Eldred Jr. Dragons with it now, 2nd and 8. Puma Whitlock under pressure on the run. He's picked off! A rare interception from Puma, just his 5th of the year, as it's intercepted by Kenneth Murray. The Colts are going to get it with excellent field position. That might be the worst throw from Puma I've ever seen on the run. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Colts back with it now. Richardson throws it up to a wide open man. It's Kyon Sparks. Nobody was back deep to cover. That might be the worst two-play sequence I think I've ever seen. Horrible interception, horrible coverage. Colts on the board first. They lead 7-0. Puma fumbles it on the sack. Luckily, one of the offensive linemen is there to pick it up. Disastrous start for Puma here in the final regular season game of the year. He's doing everything he can to lose another MVP. He's already lost 2 of them. Richardson under pressure, sacked by Ryan Nada. Again, he didn't really lose many yards, but Nada's in there for a sack. It's now 3rd and 8 for the Colts. They can really do some damage and add to this lead. Richardson's under pressure, though. He is sacked again. Malachi Weston's there along with the rookie Warwick Eldred Jr. The Rook now with 10 sacks this year. Quite the accomplishment for Warwick Eldred. Dragons back with it. Puma misfires on 3rd down, looking for Amarion Cephas. The offense has been kind of a disaster so far. I get that the weather is making an impact, along with the fact that the Dragons probably really aren't trying that hard, but still not pretty. Richardson's screen is off the mark. Good defense by St. Louis. They'll get it back on offense. Maybe this is the possession where they can really get something going. Try to utilize Arturo Modelo. That way you can get him and Puma out of the game sooner. Downfield shot for a wide open man. It's the Thomas. And the rookie brings it to the 10 for a huge gain. First down now from the 10. Puma in empty, looking to throw it, and he is intercepted again. It's picked off by Mike Hawk. Yes, that is his name. Don't say that too fast. The first multi-interception game for Puma all year. I don't even think he had one last year. I think it's been multiple seasons. Here's Richardson under pressure, sacked in the end zone. Simeon Bonnet gets his tackle for loss, and it's a safety. So he breaks the record for TFLs in a season. He gets a sack. He scores his team some points. And now Simeon Bonnet's not going to need to play the rest of this game. Here's the kickoff. Richard Rushing's going to let this one go back, hoping it goes out of bounds. It doesn't. That means he needs to pick it up because it's a live ball. But he doesn't pick it up. And the Colts recover. Richard, pick up the ball. The way I'm going to choose to look at this, though, is positive. He made that mistake in the regular season, not the playoffs. 3rd and goal. It's broken up off the hit by Owen Popo. So after all that, the Colts are only going to get a field goal. And if you factor in the safety from Bonnet, it's really only a 1-point swing from the Colts. It was still a stupid play by the rookie Richard Rushing, but again, at least he didn't make the mistake in the playoffs. Dragons back with it. It's now 10-2. Puma on the run as an open man. It's the tight end Rick Gafford who gets it inside the 40 to around the 36. It's been a quiet day, though, for Arturo Modelo. I think he's only gotten the ball twice so far. Keep in mind, 7 is the magic number. 3rd and 9. Puma throws it away. They're going to call an intentional grounding there. The worst penalty in sports strikes again. That's going to knock St. Louis out of field goal range. Would have been a very long kick anyway, but a makeable one. Now they're out of field goal range, and they're going to have to punt it. Colts get it back. They're up 10-2. The Dragons still have not scored on offense today. Here's Anthony Richardson on first down under pressure, and he is sacked by Zion Creed, who's going to be a full snap player for the rest of the game with Simeon Bonnet's day being done. I'm excited to see what Creed can do with the extra playing time. 3rd and 13, Richardson looks to throw it. He's picked off. There it is. Cam Lucifer has broken a 77-year-long record. His 15th interception of the year, breaking the mark set by Night Train Lane in 1952. We've had some defensive backs who were all-time great players on this channel. Guys like Cardell Simpson, C.J. Thomas, Zaire Wiggins. They were all ball-hawking machines. None of them sniffed 15 interceptions in a season, but Cam Lucifer just did it. The all-time team record for interceptions in a career going into the year was 15 by DeMore Diggins. Cam Lucifer just did that in 1 year. That's wild. What else is wild is how good the Colts have covered Arturo Modelo. That pass on 3rd down incomplete. Deshaun Faith has had him locked up. The Colts knew that the Dragons were going to look to get Modelo the ball early and often. They don't want Modelo to get this record, clearly. Nice throw in the hands of Dontavius Brown, the running back, who brings it to the 21. 2nd and goal now. Can the Colts add to their lead? Richardson on the run. He is sacked again. Zion Creed with his 2nd of the game. The Dragons have like 6 or maybe even 7 sacks at this point. The Colts would waste all their time. They would then call their timeout, and now they're going to kick. That is awful clock management 101, my friends. Here comes the field goal team. The kick is good, and that'll do it for the first half. 13-2. The Dragons aren't looking too hot. Their only points are on defense with the safety by Simeon Bonnet, who has broken his record. Cam Lucifer has broken his. Both of those guys are out of the game. Arturo Modelo, though, only has 2 catches up to this point. Most of the starters are going to come out of the game, but we still need Modelo to break his record. I want to focus on the passing game, not just because Puma Whitlock has struggled to throw the ball, but once Amir Strauss comes into the game, I really want to see what he can do and give him the best opportunity to succeed. Defensively, I want to stop the deep ball. The Colts have been effective there as the Dragons return on offense. Puma Whitlock is at quarterback, not Amir Strauss. The reason is, for one thing, Puma's played horribly today. I want to make sure he's awake. But the bigger thing is, I want Arturo Modelo to break his record with a pass from Puma Whitlock. I feel like that'd be more meaningful. First play of the drive, there's one. Modelo needs 5 receptions on this drive to break the record, and he just got the first one as he brings it past midfield. 2nd and 4 now for St. Louis. Puma looks to throw it. Under a lot of pressure, rolls out to the right. There's Modelo, that's 2. Modelo jukes away from the defender, brings it into the red zone to the 15. I think the Dragons want to get him his record as soon as possible so they can get Modelo and Puma out of the game quickly. On first down, short throw, there's 3. Modelo gets a gain of around 6. He is now at 148 receptions on the year, 1 catch away from tying, 2 from breaking. It's an RPO, but that's a fumble. Pass went behind the line of scrimmage, and it's out of bounds at the 9-yard line. 2nd and goal now for St. Louis as they look to punch it in, get their first offensive points of the game. Puma looks to throw it. He's got Modelo. There's 4. Modelo has tied the record set by Michael Thomas a decade ago with 149 receptions on this season. Wouldn't it be fitting if 150 goes for a touchdown? 3rd and goal. Modelo wide open, but Puma misses the throw. That was his chance to break the record. 4th and goal. The Dragons are going to go for it. You know who they're looking for. If I'm the Colts, I'm quadruple teaming him. Don't let him get any space. Make Puma throw it to someone else. But that's not what they're going to do. Modelo wide open. There it is. His 150th reception of the year, an all-time NFL record. It's also his 22nd receiving touchdown of this season, and the Dragons offense is finally on the board. What a moment for Arturo Modelo, and I'm happy that he got to catch the pass from Puma Whitlock. Both Puma and Modelo will now be taken out of the game. We want to make sure they're healthy for the playoffs. The rookie quarterback, Amir Strauss, is already in for the 2-point conversion as it's a handoff for Richard Rushing, and he does not get it. Adonis Bazana with the stop, and it's 13-8 as the Colts get it back, facing off against a couple of the starters, but mostly backups here defensively. Dontavius Brown gets by the safety Knight, and he's wrapped up by Kyson Wilkerson. It's nice knowing even if Jalen Bourgeois is not on the team next year since his contract is expiring, his replacement, DeMar Knight, apparently also misses hilariously easy tackles. If we can't bring back Bourgeois, I guess we've got his replacement. Play action! Richardson is sacked by the rookie Deku Etienne for a loss of around 9. This pass rush in this game has been unbelievable. Everybody's eating. Weston, Bonnet, Creed, Eldred, now Etienne. 3rd and 20. Richardson takes a shot downfield, one-on-one coverage, and it's caught in the end zone! What a play by Dontavius Brown for the touchdown. He had the rookie, Kyson Wilkerson, smothering him, but he still comes down with it. Dragons with the ball, 2nd down. Strauss fumbles it, but it's recovered by the center, Nolan Meadows. Amir Strauss has had a pretty nice drive. He's led the Dragons all the way to the goal line on his first real NFL possession. We'll see if he can get a touchdown, though. 3rd and 10. It's DeAubrey Thomas who gains around 8. It's a 2-score game. The Dragons are going to go for it here on 4th and 2. Try to punch it in, make it a 1-possession deficit as it's Richard Rushing in for the rushing touchdown. And St. Louis does make it a 1-score game. Good run there by the rookie. The Dragons are now going to look to make the deficit a 5-point game. But the problem is it's snowy and it's windy. Cameron Dicker's kick is wide right, no good. It remains 20-14. The Dragons have scored 2 touchdowns today, but they didn't get extra points either time. Colts back with it, up by 6. There's another sack. Srijan Bazar is in to bring him down for a loss of 5. Bazar's another guy who I like seeing get playing time. He's going to have a bigger role next year. 2nd and 15. Richardson down the field. There's a big play for Michael Pittman. Breaks the tackle from Wilkerson and is wrapped up out of bounds at the 46 by Owen Popo. I don't know why Popo is in the game, but oh well. 2nd and 8 now for the Colts, looking to make it a 2-score lead. Here's Richardson. His pass is caught. Breaks the tackle. Breaks another tackle. Down the field to the 16-yard line. A huge play there for Indianapolis. That's Jahan Dotson who makes the play, and it's now 2nd and 3 from the 9 with under 6 to go. Richardson hands it off for Dontavius Brown. He's in the zone, and he's in another zone. The end zone! The talented running back out of Baylor makes it a 2-score lead. Colts now going to go for 2, trying to make it a clean 14-point deficit. Richardson alone in the backfield. He'll go short for Pittman, who does not get it. Jabril Fofana brings him down. It remains 26-14. Dragons get it back. They're going to have to move quickly here on offense. Amir Strauss on 1st down, sails it over to Francis Francer. Mr. Irrelevant in last year's draft out of Ole Miss. Gets it to the 38-yard line. Another solid drive from Amir Strauss. I'm impressed. He's made some good throws. 3rd and 4 under pressure. He's sacked. It's Chang in the backfield who brings him down. 4th and 12. Dragons are going to go for it. If they don't get this, they're in trouble. Here is Strauss looking for the end zone for Thomas. It is incomplete. He had it in his hands, but it was jarred out. And with that, for the first time since week 4, the Dragons fall in defeat. They drop this game to the Indianapolis Colts 26-14. We did not play very well in this game overall, but again, it's fine. We had some bad mental mistakes, but we can afford to do that today. We cannot afford to do that in 2 weeks from now in the divisional round. The Colts were also playing for something. They're still going for seeding, whereas we didn't have much to play for. Anthony Richardson had a strong game. I was impressed with him, especially in the second half. Puma was not great. 2 interceptions, while Amir Strauss actually played pretty well. It would be a little bit funny if Puma loses out on the MVP here right at the end. It'd be depressing, but it'd be a little funny. Arturo Modelo with 7 catches, breaking the record for receptions in a single season. Simeon Bonnet, of course, broke the TFL record. We had a lot of sacks in this game from a lot of different players. And then Cam Lucifer, of course, had an interception, his 15th on the year, which, of course, breaks another record. So we finished the regular season with a record of 15-2 going into the playoffs. It was really fun seeing all of our guys break records today. Hopefully the rookies are going to win their awards. Hopefully everybody else is going to win their awards. This team looks unbeatable. As I say that, we just got beat by the Colts. But it's hard to imagine somebody beating us in the playoffs. And best of all, we're going to be healthy. We had no new injuries today. Darwin Juskins is going to be back. Wilson Villafana is going to be back. The only injured player going into the playoffs will be Jalen Mallard. Here's a look at the scores around the rest of the league in Week 18. As for the players of the week, Dak Prescott, Deacon Adderley, Trayvon Diggs, and Julian Love. So let's recap the season real quick, go through some stats, awards, standings, and then we'll wrap things up here. Starting with the stats on the year, what a season for Puma Whitlock. He won-upped his season last year, 4,700 yards, 48 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 68% completion percentage. He was the best quarterback in the NFL this year and deserves to win the MVP. He was second place last year. He almost won it a few years ago when he got injured. But this is the year that he deserves to win it, and I have a hard time thinking he won't end up winning the award. We ended up with 2,000-yard rushers. Milan Santa and Darwin Juskins both did it after nobody had done it in the first 6 seasons of our team's history. It goes to show that our offense is so well-rounded. We are a pass-first team, but we run the ball so well. We didn't even need Puma Whitlock to be effective on the ground because everybody else was. 150 for Arturo Modelo in the receptions category, 1,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, one of the greatest single-season receiver years ever. He breaks the receptions record, tied for third in receiving touchdowns. Not many players can say they've gotten 1,800 yards in a season. That's pretty cool. 13 scores for Diaubrey Thomas. Cephas was solid. Robinson was solid. The offensive line was really solid. Only one player allowed more than 4 sacks. And then defensively, it was a little bit up and down, but I thought overall the defense was good, led by our star power. Owen Popo led the team in tackles by a lot. 16 TFLs, 4 sacks, 4 picks. Simeon Bonnet, 40 TFLs. That's an NFL record, along with 15.5 sacks. The rookie, Warwick Eldred, with 10 sacks, 7.5 came today in the final 6 games of the year. And then in the interception category, there's something that sticks out like a sore thumb. 15! Breaking the record set by Night Train Lane. And the thing is, he was really good in coverage this year. Last year, he struggled in coverage. We've moved him to the slot, and apparently he's become the best cornerback ever. Locked out in coverage, incredible ball skills. I don't know why QBs threw the ball near him. He's more likely to catch it than the receiver. Cameron Dicker had a disappointing season. It says he was perfect on extra points. He definitely was not. I think the game just wanted to forget his missed extra points, which honestly I do too. I don't blame it. Let's look at the awards. Puma Whitlock has done it. He has won the MVP here in his 6th NFL season. He's been close in the past, but finally, in the 6th season of his career, he does it. MV Puma. Offensive Player of the Year in the NFC is Arturo Modelo. Bryce Young passes Puma, though. That's kind of funny. Defensive Player of the Year is Cam Lucifer over Simeon Bonnet with Popo in 6th. At the beginning of the episode, I said that Bonnet deserved the Defensive Player of the Year, and at that time, I felt like he did. But for Cam Lucifer to keep his pace in terms of the interceptions while being elite in coverage, I think they got it right. Bonnet finishes 2nd place for a 2nd straight year. Thomas wins the Offensive Rookie of the Year. His numbers were pretty similar to Troy King, the AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year, while Richard Rushing comes in 9th. Warwick Eldred wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year. He climbed up here down the stretch. Marion Page wins it in the NFC. Page had more tackles and a couple more TFLs, but Eldridge had more sacks. Puma wins the best quarterback. Nobody on the list for best running back. That's crazy. We had 2,000-yard rushers. Neither of them made it. Modelo first for best receiver. Thomas in 6th. That feels a little bit too high. He might be a touchdown merchant. Rosenberg 4th for best offensive lineman. Sully's in 5th. Max in 10th. Simeon Bonnet wins the best defensive lineman. Popo loses out on the best linebacker, while Cam Lucifer takes best DB. And I don't think Cameron Dicker made the best kicker list. He really shouldn't have. If he did, that might be a mistake. So let's look at the standings now as the Ravens win the North, the Colts win the South, the Bills take the East comfortably, and the Chiefs win the West, with the Steelers, Bengals, and Chargers making it in as wild cards. Packers win the North, Bears get a playoff spot. Saints win the South, they're the 2 seed. Carolina gets a playoff spot. Dallas wins the East, and obviously we win the West. The Niners get a playoff spot, and the Rams miss out. By the way, our 557 points this year is 4th all-time for the most points scored in a single season, albeit we did it in 17 games, while most of the teams on the list did it in 16, but still, top 5 is pretty impressive. Also, got to shout out Seattle. They won 6 games in a row to end the year. I wonder if Antoine Emerald gets a starting job somewhere next year. He probably deserves it. This is what our playoff bracket looks like. We will play one of Dallas, Carolina, Chicago, or San Francisco in the divisional round. I'm kind of hoping for Carolina. That'd be fun. And if we beat Carolina, a rematch with the Saints in the NFC Championship sounds really fun. But obviously, we've got to win our divisional round game first. That's easier said than done. So next episode, we'll go through the playoffs. The Dragons look for Super Bowl ring number 2. Can we get it, though? Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.